Hello, and welcome. I am your GM, Adam, and tonight we are going to have some fun. We're going to do a little bit of a verbal recap here in just a second. But before we do, we always got to give our shout out to Tabletop Audio. Tabletop Audio is a wonderful resource for bringing your dungeons, your space hulks, your monsters, your adventures to life with tons of different ambient background sounds and just ways to help set the scene. Speaking of setting the scene, I think we have a scene to set ourselves, and we'll be doing our little recap here with just me and my lovely voice. So we're on the back of two split sessions where the party interacted in groups of two, and the first set was Breakspear and Jin. Breakspear and Jin went on a harrowing adventure of starting off in a wheelbarrow, barely able to move after their fight on the stage with Desmond, and then a little bit of mano-a-mano versus each other. Though that fight was short-lived, and the both of them found themselves knocked out. The next thing they knew they were being pushed through the underways in a wheelbarrow all the way to the guard Mark's house as he got them out of the stage and out of the light. However, this safety was short-lived when Okram did appear there, the sergeant only arriving moments before to get the party out of Mark's house. We haven't seen Mark since. Ominous. Well, ultimately, Breakspear and Jin went on a bit of an adventure for the rest of that session, going through the sewers and the underways and finding their way to a safe house. However, one of the things that Jin and Breakspear did is they made sure to go out of their way not to harm any of the would-be assailants that got in their way, even though all of their assailants were the assailants that worked directly for Okram, even deciding to spare a young 17-year-old aspiring warrior in the dark, dank sewers of Ambervale. They ultimately made it all the way to the safe house, and then to check on different people. They checked on Mark. He wasn't home. Ominous. And then they went to find Violet, who... Oh, no. Violet isn't who she said she was. And she herself turned on the party, screaming that the two of them had attempted to assassinate her. Chased through the streets of Ambervale by the guard, Jin and Breakspear managed again not to murder a single person, though they did remove the fingers of a hand. Unfortunate. The session left off for them with them bleeding out on a staircase, huddling to each other, whispering secrets, I'm sure, when an ominous knock was at the door. And that was their session end as we went to session 1.5 or 8.5, and that was Hedera and Orlena. The two of them were still in the bazaar. They were cleaning up after the aftermath of their work assignment, where they were in the bazaar to protect the king's itinerary. They had Ricard in tow with them, who is a wanted fugitive. The two of them decided that they had to escape the guards of Ambervale, and they needed to make it outside of the city. They went to the outer wall of Ambervale, where they ran to the sergeant, saying they could come into the sewers. They promptly said, no, we don't want to do that. We want to go to that door over there. And then a wild spree happened of death and carnage, where 16, 18 people were murdered. They claim self-defense. We'll work it out. No worry. Time will tell. However, this whole altercation was brought to a close when Aegis and Neophytos DeAngelos stepped in to bring them to what they are calling justice, though the party disagrees. They are now being walked through the streets of Ambervale, but we will go into that in this session here. But first, we have to introduce our party. So without further ado, let's bring them in. Welcome.
Hey, y'all.
Thank you.
I hear a lot
Happy
of
to be
judgment
back.
in that interjection.
A lot of judgment.
First-
a lot of judgment.
So
First
much
up, with the highest kill count in the party, Orlena, how we doing?
You know what? I'm doing all right, actually, despite the circumstances.
Perfect.
I'm gonna try. No, I was gonna say I'm gonna try my best to get out of this. We'll see how this goes. Just trying to survive.
All
I
right,
don't know what to say anymore. But anyway, my name is Alicia. I'm playing the character Orlena. She is an elf from a neighboring elven kingdom. She's about 5'10". She has long, dark, shiny hair and bright purple eyes she can use to see in the dark. She usually isn't like in the combat, but she's been getting a lot of use out of that bow lately. She's getting better, but I mean, she should be good. She knows how to do it. Anyway, currently we're not in the best position. Hedera tried to get us killed, but we're gonna. At least I'm gonna try my best to get out of this situation alive. We'll see how it ends. Hopefully, it's not the end. I'm trying.
All right, coming in at second highest kill count. Let's hear from Hedera.
There's so much judgment that I'm hearing in this, like,
What?
so far. Look, it was self-defense. We were just trying to get out, okay? We were just trying to get out, and we just kept getting attacked, okay? My name is Jasmine. I am playing Hedera. She is a forest nymph. She rules the neighboring forest. She's 6 feet tall with red hair, green skin, and a little bit of an imposing attitude. A little bit more lately, where she's just kind of fed up with all this nonsense. But we did get into a little bit of a predicament last time, and I'm confident that we will make it out. I think we can, at least hopefully Hedera can use some of her diplomatic privilege to help with the situation. So it was self-defense.
Well, here at Cinematic Epic, we do always say you're always welcome to try. But we have two more members: the sparing, the life-giving, the non-murderous, the surprisingly low kill count, Breakspear.
He's killed people.
How he go from?
I said surprisingly low.
From throat goat to this?
Right.
The throat goat to the fucking
Excuse me?
to the motherfucking the
Whoa.
mercy man,
The
mercy
throat
giver.
Slasher. Thank you. Or throat fighter. Thank you very much.
Nah.
Yeah, but most of the people in the arena didn't die. And hello, I am Ian. I'm going to be playing Breakspear this evening. Breakspear is a Draculin, which is a very small dragon, minus the wings. He stands at about 4'5", and he comes from the desert city of Tal Marin, so very far away from home. But this evening, you'll hear that he starts this episode off rough, so let's see where he goes from there. But I'm pretty excited and pretty hopeful about this episode, so let's see how this goes.
Right. Well, we have one more party member to meet with. The person with the lowest kill count, but one of the most brutal deaths, and basically a kill, as he crushed and obliterated a person earlier in the season in an arena battle. And that's none other than Jin.
Oh, how we doing? I'm James, and I'm gonna be playing Jin today. He's a human martial artist from a community called Hermitalo that's off in a distant land. Last session, he had the joy of obliterating one of his closest friends, and then almost killing his one of his now closest friends. So now he's got a bolt in his chest. So he's just not really having a great time. So we're gonna see how the session plays out for him.
See, where was all that judgment when he literally just tried to murder Breakspear? Okay, but no, I'm the one that is a murderer.
I mean, he didn't try to. It was out of his control
Look,
at the time.
They also made shirts "What's Mercy" for Jin, so there was some judgment when he brutalized. So just imagine the shirts that will be made for Orlena Hedera.
Well, it wasn't for
geriatric.
You know,
sport. I mean, so I don't know if
there-
everyone's
look,
gonna
there's gonna be shirts that come out that are like Ambervale strong. And without further ado, let's get into this session.
freaking rude.
As Breakspear and Jin lie on the staircase after the 3 ominous knocks.
Well, we gotta go first.
Perfectly spaced. All of a sudden, the door to the safe house begins to just creak open, as if it wasn't closed at all. And you watch as the door on your side, the fake wall on the other, swings open, and the light of the night with the rain pouring down, you see a silhouette standing at the top of the stairs. As your adrenaline begins to spike and you try to muster all energy to continue going and try to fight to get that going up, your heart races, your eyes blur, and you pass out. Over with Orlina and Hedera, out in the fields of Ambervale, the Royal Cavalry is at this point surrounding you entirely. There's a good there's mages around you, well, mostly around Hedera. Angwin is gone, as he took the snowcat with him. Aegis is currently not with you, but Neophytos is, and they are issuing you into the city. As you get through the gate, there are people waiting for you at the gate. Different heroes that you may recognize from the arena. Heroes like Miles Maceborn Duncan. And as you begin looking through Ambervale, as you go closer and closer to the prison, more of these heroes from the arena start coming in and escorting you further and further. The citizens are clearly a little confused. Not everyone knows what's going on, but Ambervale feels a bit in shock. And you are brought to the prison. As you're walked through the prison and you're taken to your cells, Hedera, your prison is, or your cell is made out of like a weird, like unnatural crystalline material that as you like step into it, it feels like synthetic and odd and awful. There is also no natural light coming into this whole like room that you are in. However, other than the fact that everything is synthetic, you have like a bed with a mattress, you have sheets, you have like a nice like toiletry setup, you have like a kind of a little kitchenette like area, you have like resource, like you have like little like things like that. Little comforts, I'll say.
Okay.
Orlina,
Except for
your
light.
cell is directly across from hers. Yours is it's just like all like made out of stone. There's just like a cutout of stone where they've put like a sleeping bag on top of a cutout of stone, and then there is like a toilet.
Wow.
And that's it.
Well, there's your privilege,
Womp
huh?
Okay, fair.
You both are put into the cells, and there are no less than 2 mages around Hedera's cell at all times. There are guards that will kind of like intermittently come in and out of the room. The only interactions that you have, like audibly, the 2 mages and the guards that come in will not speak to either one of you, are people who come in like fully like helmeted like suits, and they'll put like trays of like food and things like that in for you.
Am I still
After
wearing
a couple
my
of times
jacket?
of yes, you
Sorry,
both are still
okay.
wearing
Well, then
They're
what's the
completely
point of all
covered.
these extra guards?
The rampant murder. The
And they're completely
I'm sorry,
covered
what?
got the
from
ma-
head to toe.
I've got the magic shackles on. What can I do? Honestly.
The guard, or which one? Sorry. Head to toe.
Yeah,
You
they're
asked if
completely
they're
covered from head to toe.
yeah, the ones that feed you, they come in like plate mail suits, and they look faceless basically.
No gaps.
And they
No gaps.
yeah, and they
Okay.
put food in and stuff like that for you. It's hard to judge time in this like box because there's no outside light. There's no like other than the feedings that you get that kind of keep track of things. It feels like maybe a day or two passes before the two cells next to you, Orlena, are filled with one with a break spear and the other with a gin. Breakspear and Jin, your experience is one of you woke up in what looked like a sterile stone and metal hospital-ish area with your wounds being cared for as you're nursed back to a level of health. Though you are both still like bruised and beaten up, you do feel considerably better than you did laying there on the staircase. And the party is united for the first time in a couple of sessions.
Together but separate. Jin? Breakspear. Breakspear.
There, is that you?
It's-
Oh,
What happened to you? What happened? Why are you in here?
I don't know.
Is Breakspear alright?
No. Neither one of us is all right.
I have a question.
What happened?
What's up?
So, even though we have these like magic shackle thingies, do I still have muffins? And if I like, is there a way for me to like?
Oh no, sorry. Any belongings that you would have been taken.
I wasn't sure because you didn't say. So
Yeah, no.
I
That's
assumed.
Sorry,
But you know.
my apologies.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah, items even down to like the teeth caps of Breakspear have been taken.
Damn, they took my boy's grills.
Jin's wraps, anything like that.
I ain't got no vest. I ain't got no wraps.
Breakspear's naked again.
Breakspear naked. He ain't got no poncho.
This is fucked up.
Ugh.
All right. Okay.
This is my natural look. Stop judging me for it.
Yes.
We
That's
got
fancy
what,
for
we
naked.
got set up. We were set up.
We were.
We went to. You tell him. You tell him.
We went to go see Violet. Let her know
Is she
that
all right?
Indigo's dead. No,
did she
she's
take it?
fine. She was mad. Because she wasn't there.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's
What-
natural. That is her sister.
Wait.
She would have wanted to be
No.
there to protect
No.
her, and
No. She was mad she wasn't there to watch it happen. Violet wanted Indigo dead. She's part of it.
But
She's
why?
part of it. I don't know. I didn't decide it was a great time to sit around and ask 20 questions with Violet who's trying to kill me. But my guess is she's with Okram on it. Who else would promise her that she would be there? Why
Good
would-
thing we went together, or I don't think either one of us would have made it out of there.
Uh,
Yeah, well, it got us stuck in here and it wasn't worth it, I guess.
the
Where were
door.
you all?
I'm sorry. No, good.
I was gonna say, if it makes you feel any better, we didn't accomplish anything. We tried to get out. It didn't work out.
Yeah.
They caught us.
What happened to y'all?
We were trying to get Ricard out of the city into my forest for safety, or into a forest. Well, we were going to try to make it into a forest where we could hide.
Leave the city.
Not sure of who to trust here. We made it to the wall, and then we were attacked.
We couldn't get under the wall, so we tried to get over the wall because we couldn't get through the door.
It's so strange that a door would be so far underground.
Apparently
Okay.
the whole, yeah. But
So
we got
We were attacked?
brought back here. By
yeah,
who?
We were attacked by all the guards when they saw us with Ricard, and we fought back, and we were brought here.
They have elves. They had elves
Yeah.
patrolling the woods.
The elves are part of the palace guard.
So even if we did get in the woods, they would have found us.
Yeah. Well, I wish we had known about that before we attempted that.
Yeah. So they also
Stranger,
have
the
Ricard.
sergeant.
Where's Ricard?
Where is Ricard?
You haven't seen him since your procession.
I mean,
They have him
Where did they take him?
I'm surprised he's still alive after the beating Desmond gave him.
It was a little difficult.
Let's get a miscellaneous roll, actually, for Jin and Breakspear.
Okay.
What's happening?
That's a 9. Oh, that's a 19, my boy. The boys
Breakspear,
back in town.
you do remember vaguely hearing like about another patient that was in like critical care in the same like hospital area as you, and that you're fairly certain that they said Ricard's name.
Well, I think he might be alive in the hospital. When we were there, they mentioned somebody else was brought in critically. Other than that, I don't really know much.
They kept him alive. That's surprising.
To be honest, I'm surprised that me and Breakspear are alive, considering who found us.
Why?
No. It makes
found
total
you?
sense that Okram would keep us alive.
Oh, crap.
He wants the spectacle. He wants a trial. And we're definitely the sad saps that's gonna be on the bad end of receiving one.
Oh,
As if almost in tune with that statement, the door to your like block area opens, and a troop of guards and mages comes in. It's about 10 guards and 5 more mages, and a short dwarf comes like stomping his way in. Here are the troublesome 4. My name is Griega Doomstone. I will be your warden here. You'll find that we take security measures in this prison very seriously, as the only clientele we adhere to is that of people of your sorts. Heroes.
I don't need that.
If it was up to me, these keys, and he jingles them, would disappear, and you would rot. But the King of Ambervale makes sure that everybody gets their trial. So, You'll be having a few visitors today. You'll be meeting with your auditor, your my goodness words, judicator. And I do believe, and he pulls out like a small, like, pad. Yes, it seems each one of you does have a visitor. I trust you will continue to behave, otherwise certain luxuries will be taken away from you.
There's really not a whole lot we could do here. So.
Bitch, you
Good.
can cook.
And he turns to like leave the room, and like his troop of mages and guards move with him.
Well,
She said there's not a lot we can do. I have a sleeping bag on a rock.
well, there's only one thing to do in this kind of situation.
Sleep?
Ninja's just gonna get up. Ninja's gonna get up and start training in the back of the cell.
Oh my goodness.
And then all fall back on it. Just yeah.
Breakspear is gonna do like some stretching to help kind of get limberness back into the body. He's not gonna do full-on hardcore training like Jin might, but he's gonna be stretching and trying to find like feel out the cell to see like where can I climb? What can I do here? Is there a stone loose? Type of
For Breakspear, for
Investigation of
the
things.
walls of your cell are all like smoothed marble.
I knew it was gonna be something like this.
and how wide
In my
across
little
is the room?
kitchenette that I have, do I have like food supplies, or is it just like what is the kitchenette? What's in it?
The kitchenette like looks like it would be normally just like a more standard diet kitchenette. Though in yours it is stuff like you can tell they don't know what you have. So there's like fruits, and then there's also like plant fertilizer, kind of like a growth like little liquid kind of thing, and stuff like that.
What's she gonna do with that in a stone box?
Crystalline
soil.
blocks.
Fertilizer with no soil.
Right?
Look, they don't
Well, he
know.
said it-
They
he said
don't
it's
know
a
what
liquid
Hedera. They don't know what Hedera eats or drinks, so they were like,
Fertilizer. They give me fertilizer.
You got no sunlight to photosynthesize.
Right.
So they haven't been giving her food. They're just like, eat dirt.
She literally just
no, like I said, they did bring food in for Hedera a couple of times, but then when the trays would get untouched, they were like, "Oh, I guess we'll stop doing this."
no.
I'm pointing
Yeah, but I mean, if I don't have
just-
sunlight, then I'm going to start like withering. So like,
I just imagine Hedera like sucking the energy out of like an apple, just withering the apple away. Just
She has like
That
she
might
has, she has
be-
like a she has one single,
that might
like,
be what I'm
moon
going to start
window.
doing though. If I don't have sunlight to like recharge from, so I'm just gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna
She doesn't have a window.
Capri
No.
sunning these apples out here.
right. So I'm like, that's why I was like trying to see. I was like, is there anything that I can like, I don't know, maybe like work with? But if it's just like apples and fertilizer, like that's not.
You get water.
I'm just imagining what
get
the fruits look
water.
like afterwards.
Water's
Just
good.
Not good.
I'm a plant.
They do continue to bring you water. If like in their trays and stuff like that of food, you would like drink the water. They would continue to bring the water.
I'm just imagining you don't even drink it. You just put your hand in the water and just like suck the water up.
like SpongeBob.
through the roots.
She's literally sitting there in SpongeBob. I need it.
I don't need it.
There's nothing to do.
Need
I don't even think there's anything I can do because
I mean,
I
'cause I
literally
was gonna-
have a toilet.
I was gonna say like if they were giving me like food and like things that I could use like the actual kitchenette for, then I would be like try to like make things and like shove underneath the bars to like the others. But like,
Are we even close by?
right?
the
across.
Hey, is there any
Um,
meat over there though? You got any meat in there?
Why would they give me meat?
Maybe they left some in there from the last person. I don't know.
You want
You
old
just eat
rotten meat?
anything, huh?
I need it for my training. And also, while I'm doing my little training in the
Yeah,
back, I want to just like see what
Alright, y'all.
the condition of the cell is like as I'm like going around. You know what I mean?
You
Like
nasty.
touching stuff,
Um,
touching the walls, beating the wall up a little bit.
let's get a miscellaneous roll for Jen.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, what's his cell?
An 11.
Your cell isn't anything like overly particular. It's a stone block cell, kind of things like that. As you go around and you hit it, like you definitely know that like if left to enough like unsupervised time, you could get your way through like this type of like stone wall. It's just, you know, while you're doing this, there are like couple guards in like your block and also the two mages that stand at Hedera's cell, and they're just kind of like watching you go like
I just. That's so funny. Oh, Jin's such a fool. I like how they just said he's just a regular dude. Basically, he just gave me a regular cell.
Just gave him a regular cell.
The door to your cell block does open again. Two more guards first enter the room, and then a slender elven woman comes in, and she's got like a clipboard and a whole bunch of different like documents and paper. And she comes up and she's like, okay, yes. So, hello. I'm going to be your auditor. I am Jennifer, and I come. Well, that doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm just here to read through your counts that are levied against you by the city of Ambervale, and get how each of you are going to plan on pleading in your upcoming hearings. So, Hedera and Orlina, I presume that is your Hedera, and she points to Hedera, and your Orlina, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Your charges are as followed. 18 counts of attempted murder, 16 counts of murder, 9 counts of inhumane acts, 8 counts of destruction of Ambervale property, 7 counts of attacking members of the Ambervale army, 4 counts of theft of Ambervale horses, and 1 count of high treason. There is also a point of order to determine if charges brought against Breakspear and Jin are to be brought against the two of you, and a second point of order for if charges that are being brought against one Ricard are also to be brought against you. So we'll start with you, Orlina. How would you like to plead?
Where did horses come from?
Right, we never took any horses.
It says that 4 horses were convinced to run off into the wilds via some form of magic, is the note that I have here. Though your adjudicator would be able to give more light on that. Do you want me to put a note down for the horses?
Yes.
What about all the people? What's all this about? That's not the story I heard.
That's the problem that you guys have. What did you two do?
Defended ourselves.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Miss.
ourselves.
Adjudicator, Miss. Could you read that
I'm
for
the
me
auditor.
one more time? Auditor, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's 18 counts of attempted murder, 16 counts of murder, 9 counts of inhumane acts, 8 counts of destruction of Ambervale property, 7 counts of attacking members of the Ambervale army, 4 counts of theft of Ambervale horses, and 1 count of high treason.
So I don't.
What destruction of property did we do?
It says, let's see here, that a large trench was dug through the bazaar, and that many of the bazaar like habs and buildings had sustained lots of impact damage.
Well, that trench is very easily to be fixed. I mean, any of your mages, if they're good enough, could have covered that back up. I mean, there's no actual damage there.
Would you like me to add a challenge on the property damage?
Yes, please. As well as the Sorry, what was the other one? What was the account of treason?
What's that for?
Yes, so that one is because you have committed or you're being charged with committing serious accounts such as murder and inhumane acts. Then, because you are currently operating as an agent of a fair which was under the jurisdiction of Ambervale, it means that you are being charged with treason against the Ambervale city.
Also, what are these inhumane acts?
Yes, that was the
Um,
other one that I was trying to remember.
so it says multiple guards were hurled from the walls and left to bleed out, and that 5 guards were found shish kebabbed on top of each other, having impaled themselves from what looks like falling off the wall as well.
Oh
So
my
you just said they fell. So I
They
don't.
they fell
They
and impaled
fell.
themselves. How is that
You
our
said
fault?
you just said that with your own words. They fell.
Oh my god.
I'm the auditor. I'm just reading you your accounts.
Okay.
Did you
So,
Well,
would you
challenge
like
that
me to
I
put
don't.
a challenge
I'm
for
challenged.
inhumane acts?
Yes,
Absolutely.
they fell off the wall. That is not our fault.
Breakspear, what happened while we were gone?
Is there any other challenges you would like to make?
Yes, I would like you to put a note in that this was all in self-defense.
Breakspear, what?
All of these were us. All of these attempted murders and murders or whatever were acts of self-defense as we were under attack while we were trying to leave the city.
Leave the city.
That's a lot of self-defense.
Breakspear, what do we gotta do?
And
Um,
did you adhere to any commands to halt or stop?
what?
We did eventually.
And where would you say that falls into the line of events?
Right before they put these ridiculous shackles on me.
Okay, so towards the end.
I mean, that was when they told us to stop.
Yes. Any other time, weapons were drawn and we defended ourselves.
Right. I mean, we're not going to sit there once someone points us, starts shooting arrows at us or throws a spear at us. We're not going to sit there and be like, "Oh, well, give us time to explain ourselves." You know, it's ridiculous.
And what were those last points that you added at the end?
Which ones? Sorry.
You just said points. You said there's a point for this, a point for that. What was that about?
So the point of orders. It's Jin and Breakspear. I will read your counts here in a second. But one of the points of order is to determine if the charges levied against them should be levied against you, as you were all part of the same security team, it looks like. And the second point of order, and Jin and Breakspear will go over yours in a second, is to determine if the one you were found with Ricard, if charges brought against Ricard are being brought against you as well under the Group Charge Act.
Group Charge Act. That seems wildly unfair.
Charge Act.
So I don't have the Ricard counts with me right now, but I will be able to read those off once those become available. However, I will come back to your first point of order involving Jin and Breakspear here in just a second once you hear their counts, and then we'll bounce back. So, Jin and Breakspear, you are being charged with 1 count of dismemberment, 1 count of resisting arrest, 1 count of attempted murder, and 1 count of high treason.
Dismemberment?
Do you have any challenges for these?
Well, I hear about that.
Right. Boys.
Who's this? What's this about murder you're talking about?
It says that late, and she reads the date of when it happened. You were found having broken into the second story window of one Violet and attempted to kill her.
Violet.
No. We had attempted to contact her to let her know of her sister's passing. I did not attempt to harm her.
Can you clarify? I did not attempt.
I was the one who got through the window.
I was
alone
outside.
Went into the house.
Just Breakspear went in.
Just said that one over there.
And you're saying that you were not there to kill Violet.
Did not want to cause her any harm. Then
You were there to...
inform her of her sister's passing. Indigo was.
And you did that by climbing in her second story window, correct?
That is correct.
Informed sister's passing, broken through second story window.
I feel like broken is a very harsh phrase to use. There's a lot of concern.
Did you actually break in, or?
I
There
don't
was
know.
no
if
law.
this is-
But we're not.
Did she
gonna
know you were
speak
there?
for-
I will. Do you want me to add an addendum that it is not broken, but snuck in?
Yes, Miss Auditor. That would probably be the better word.
Not a problem. Okay. And for the rest of the charges?
You said
Said
one
there
for
was-
murder.
One for attempted murder, one for resisting arrest, one count of dismemberment, and one count of high treason.
What's the resisting arrest deal?
Not the dismemberment? You're not worried about the dismemberment?
There is an account from a guard saying they told you to stop and that you did not.
Well, that sounds
I
like
would
hearsay to me.
contest on the fact that the words, that motion that he called out to us was followed without in simultaneous motion with a crossbow bolt coming at us. It took
Okay.
Jin here in the chest.
Yeah, and I
Hmm.
pull up and you see
There
the
was not
bandages.
ample enough time to either reply or to concede to such a command.
So the command was given, but was simultaneous with hostile
An act of
action.
violence. See? All these accusations are very...
Unfounded. Unfounded, I think, is the word.
Exactly. There's such hearsay and slander.
I hope
That's the
so.
one I was looking for.
I hope so.
What's wrong, Jen?
Oh,
Why are
it
you laughing?
hurts. My chest hurts so bad.
All right.
Was
And
it
do you have
from the crossbow
anyone?
they attacked you with?
And do you have anything else for the other counts?
I'm assuming the treason's something the same, right? Something about we work
Yes.
for the okay.
And for both counts of high treason, if any of the serious counts are disproven or removed, the high treason would also be taken away.
Is dismemberment considered a high count?
So for Jin and Breakspear, it would be the attempted murder.
So if we prove we didn't try to kill Violet, we're good. We're free. Sort of, kind of.
But how? Whatever.
I don't know about y'all. I don't know what we gonna do. Breakspear.
So no other challenges to any of the counts?
What do you think?
One challenge.
One.
What's that?
The challenge of high treason against Jin is on the basis that he was believed to be inside the room at the so-called attempted assassination, correct?
Yes.
As stated before, he was not in the room. Thus, the charge on that against him should be dropped. He was not present in the room at the attempt. Nor was that our intention.
Oh, Breakspear! No!
First high
Should not be
treason.
allowed. On account of
And
Jin.
then, so we'll start with Jin and Breakspear since we're already talking to you. As far as the point of order to determine charges brought against Hedera and Orlina, your security team, how do you meet that point of order? Were you involved in any of that?
No.
It was a whole.
The point in time when this is being brought up, everyone in this room was split between two groups. However, I do not believe that they're innocent, that they are guilty. I believe that they are innocent of said charges until I hear otherwise.
I'm over here like, don't let me get out of here. I'm
Um,
gonna cook Draculin muffins, sir. Don't you?
Yeah, I'll eat them up
He about
too.
He about to be crackers.
Crackers!
That was a misspeak by the actual player and not the character. I am so sorry.
Got it. Breakspear thinks the two of them should rot in jail. And then to bounce back to Hedera and Orlina, for your point of order with Breakspear and Jin, how do you respond?
We had no idea what they were up to.
We were all.
We were just trying to
weren't with them.
leave the city. So we have no idea what their plans were or what they committed. But I also believe that whatever the charges were would have been in self-defense for them. I don't believe they would have intentionally caused any physical harm.
Yeah,
No.
what's up with this? What's up with this dismemberment again?
now you have-
That says that a guard lost their fingers in the line of pursuit against you.
That doesn't
That's
mean that they did it. That's silly.
The account is that he came down an alleyway. He again gave the command to stop. He reached for a door that was closing, and the door was pulled closed on his hand, removing his fingers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that
I
sounds
remember.
like that's entirely his fault.
I don't
No.
think
You know,
no sarcasm here.
that's incidental contact. You can't punish us for that.
That is
That
not
doesn't-
their fault whatsoever. I mean, you cannot blame them
No.
for the actions of another
I
individual.
find it difficult that we would be held accountable for the actions of another.
Who sticks their hand into a closing door?
Did they see who closed the door? There's so many questions here.
Right. Do they know that? Or would they know that if the door was intentionally closed on their fingers? Jin,
What would you
Breakspear,
like me
did
to
you
put
feel
the
you were in
challenge
danger
down?
from
Also-
Or
Also, this is post getting shot in the chest with a crossbow bolt. Who's gonna
We
stop
received-
closing the door after you've been shot? When you just hear someone tell you to stop closing the door, doesn't make any
Was
sense.
this the same person who shot you in the chest with a crossbow?
I don't even remember anymore.
this would be a different guard, it looks like, from the account.
Couldn't have been.
But still, I mean, he was already injured. What
He was also
how could
continually
he have?
firing at us. We were attempting.
So what would you like me to
See.
put down for the challenge?
Well, also sounds like you two were acting in self-defense. This whole thing
Yes,
just
so-
was all a misunderstanding of self-defense.
That's some bull stuff. That's what that is.
I
No,
need
what- that's what-
to know what Breakspear and Jin's official challenge is, so I can put that down.
I mean, we were under
If
attack
we
at
were
the
to
time.
pay, if we were to pay a fine for the medical damages of the individual, would that somehow remove a portion of this charge?
This one would be a minor a minor one, usually solved by some form of personal outreach to the victim of it, and or a small monetary fine. Yes.
Can we start
Sounds
that
good.
process instead?
All right. So you would like to, instead of challenge, you want me to change that to alleviate?
Yes.
Not a problem. All right.
Yeah. Good job, Breakspear.
Not a problem. I'll make sure that that is removed from the counts, and your adjudicator will be able to put you in contact with the proper channels to get that taken care of. All right. Let's see here. Is there anything else I need to go over while I'm here? No. Looks like we've done everything. So the only thing we're waiting on is the official sentencing for Ricard, but I haven't been able to speak with him yet, as he has not regained consciousness, so his charges cannot be levied against him, and thus the point of order can't be made against any of you. However, is there anything that you would like to say on that at this time, though I don't have any information to give you, or would you like to wait until the rest of the information is made available?
I don't know if it's related to that necessarily, but I think we need to talk to someone, because danger. Like this is bad. We can't be. Oh, there's bad stuff going on. We need to talk to somebody, because someone needs to do something.
The next person you're going to be speaking with is your appointed adjudicator. Have you gone through any of the Ambervale court processes before?
Never.
I've never been arrested.
My apologies. And she flips through some different paperworks and stuff. So the way it's going to work is you will be first meeting with a adjudicator minoris, which is I believe you have Gutty. You'll meet him later. And so what's going to happen is basically he's going to be going over some of the details that we talked over here. He's going to get your accounts of everything, and he's going to, well, I mean, depends on how everything goes, but usually it's more of a conversation, though sometimes I've heard it called an interrogation. But so he's going to go over that with you, and he's going to do the same thing with those that have brought the charges against you, as well as he'll contact you about things like character witnesses or anyone that can help witnesses in general to help corroborate your story or who you are as a person. So that will all go from there, and any information that you need to get out of your block here, he would be the one to go to. All of our adjudicators are sworn in oaths of loyalty and contracts of truth. Those are all verified, not here in Ambervale, but from different establishments. I believe Gutty went through the Golden City. But so that way they are as impartial as, we can divine it to be. And from that point, Gutty will give his information and anything that he has, whether or not he thinks he can render the case done or not from his own point of view. And sometimes that will go up to a adjudicator majoris. Right now there is not one assigned because it has not gotten to that. If it goes to adjudicator majoris, you won't be doing your sessions in private. Your sessions will be moved to a arena of 40 peers plus the adjudicator council, and there you will re-go over the details of your case for your majority vote on sentencing. Is there any questions?
That was a lot.
Why is it the council an odd number?
I'm sorry?
The council, you said that there was a group of 40 that will determine our fate if it reaches that point, correct?
So that is the peer group, yes. They are always kept even. However, your adjudicator council will be kept odd.
So it's not possible for it to be a tie, is what I'm understanding.
There are standstills in the event of a standstill where the Judicator Council is a near split and the peer council is of a opposite near split. There will be a stay, and typically at that point, the king or someone of the royal family will come in and make the final declaration. Usually, we see points of order and different counts removed from there and kind of a middle ground reached, but that is a case by case interaction.
Understood. Thank you.
Do we need to stay in here prior to trial?
So at this point, since you haven't met with your adjudicator Minoris, yes, though sometimes once he starts meeting, accommodations can be changed. That might see you kind of go more towards like the general pop for the prisons. That might be house arrest. That might be like free to roam, Amber Vale. But again, it's done by a case by case basis. I would say there's a higher chance that Jin and Breakspear currently might get something more like house arrest. I don't know, but again, I'm just your auditor. I just have the papers for the preliminary paperwork, and that way you guys have a way to get information.
Thank you.
All right.
Of course. All right. So that does wrap up my time here with you. So again, if there's anything you want to add to the account, you can tell one of your guards. They are obligated to let me know that you want to speak with me. And yeah, thank you for your time, and I'll get this put in immediately, and I'll let Gutty know that he can head this way soon.
Thank you very much.
What a
Thank you.
name.
Miss Auditor.
And she heads out of the room.
So we need to talk to somebody, because not only are we being framed, but it has implications for the whole kingdom if Okram is allowed to just do what he wants to do.
But do you think that they would believe us over their beloved actors, performers,
Well,
thespians, whatever?
That's why I hope that we can try to talk to someone important, but I don't think anyone's going to want to talk to us.
Do we have
Not
a way?
currently. And we have no way of proving it.
That's what I was going to say.
You know what? Wait.
The best thing that we might have. Sorry, what you were saying.
Is there... No, I don't know. I guess I was hoping... Maybe not, but what are the odds of... Remember how I went to the church?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked them for a way basically to prove that Ricard was telling us the truth. What are the odds of like them coming around like, hey, remember this favor? And somehow, I don't know.
Do you remember do you know the favor that you were supposed to complete in order to get that?
we don't know. They come to us when they need it, and you don't know. They literally sign a blank contract, and they're like, we'll let you know when we need you.
Then I guess we need to be on the lookout to see if we can fulfill a contract.
I'll be 100% honest. I'll be wary of any task that these people are willing to break us out of somewhere to have us do.
That end, it might not be breaking out. We might have to do something inside.
I mean,
Right.
if whoever...
Would anyone be looking for us in here to do a task?
I'm sure that they know at this point, I feel like they probably know everything, so they probably know where we are. But also, if whoever is hearing our case, essentially, if they know anything of the church, and this is a big if, and maybe if I tell them this, we can at least figure out, like, if they let us somehow do that, and we figure out I don't know, they would at least know that we weren't harboring a fugitive at this point, because that's not what we were doing. And that's the only reason why we were being at least me and Radera, that's the only reason why they were coming after us, because they thought we had Ricard and he was a murderer and we were trying to help him escape, but that really wasn't what was happening. And so I don't know.
Well,
does that make sense?
Yes, I see
it's
what
gonna
you're
be
saying.
hard to beat that perception of you not helping a known and what they believe to be wanted murderer.
But
perceptions can be changed, though. It might be difficult, but
if they know of the church,
hoping if Okram doesn't get to everybody first, that's the problem.
I feel that the likelihood of there being anyone outside that can corroborate our story is little to none at this point. If we're in here, if Okram left us alive, then he knows that there's probably no one that could help us.
Was there anything else? Anyone else from the security guards who could speak on our behalf? We saw the sergeant when we were on our way trying to out. He was in the sewer, which was very odd.
He said that he saw you guys.
Yeah,
he saved our life.
But why would he do that if he didn't know something? I guess.
Right. Perhaps he could.
That or he didn't believe
speak on that, or anyone else from from the festival that we worked with, maybe Mark or the manager.
The manager.
The night that we were caught, the night that everything happened, he was the person who was trying to get away. He said that it's not supposed to happen this way. That there's something that he knew. He was supposed to meet me, I don't know. I don't even know how many days it's been now. But he was supposed to meet us at our place the next day. At noon.
You want to tell him?
The manager died saving us.
What about Mark?
What about his bag?
The bag?
The bag. They took the bag from me when they
took the bag. They took
the bag when they arrested us.
It was in our possessions.
Yes.
Well, that means they should have it, though, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
they
but
should.
That might also mean that somebody could lose it.
Or
also true.
Take whatever it is out of the bag.
Damning thing.
Just
that
make sure that
out.
But
just
do you
sure
think he would have had it so obvious? Maybe he could have could have been something hidden that
I don't know.
Like
we
maybe
won't
only
find
he
out
knew.
now. Apparently.
What's in there that's so important?
We don't know. We never got a chance to look.
We never got a chance to look. He has everything in that bag, though.
So just make sure the adjudicator knows how important that evidence
is. He got receipts.
He also told me where I could find you, Jin. That's how I was able to get to the stage.
Oh. Well, I almost wish he didn't tell you where to go.
Well, okay. Well, he can't help us in the here and now, but if we can find the bag and find what's in the bag, then he can help us that way. But unfortunately, he won't be able to talk on our behalf because he can no longer speak.
We should. Speaking about people who can't most likely speak, Mark's most likely gone.
What? What's happened to Mark?
What happened to Mark?
Mark found Jin and I. Took us back to his place. It's where we met the sergeant. Last time we saw or heard anything of him, Okram was in the room. When we went back to find Mark, we couldn't find him. No trace.
Maybe that's what we should do. Maybe we should have the adjudicator look into these people's deaths. Maybe that will help us.
Try to find them. Let's not say that they're dead, but maybe say look for them.
Well, the manager died right in front of me, so he is very much dead. But perhaps
honestly, you probably don't want to say that either. You probably don't want to say that either because they might try to think that you did it.
That is also very true.
Who killed him?
So
one of the thespians.
Yeah.
The
Do you happen to know
don't
which
remember.
one specifically?
Don't remember his name. It's the
The
Who
work
was,
fellow,
wait,
right?
who was in the
Weasley-looking
tent?
one.
Who
Why
was in
you?
the tent?
Why you just?
Did you say Weasley?
Yes.
Where was he do?
Don't
What was he
remember.
doing? What was he doing?
Oh, there were two of them. There was the big one and like the little like
The
weasel.
big
I
one.
don't know.
That was
And
that was Bash. And then
Bash, yes. And then the other one
other
that was always
one?
with him.
What was he
Wait,
doing? What did he look like?
Scale? Describe
Yes.
them. You said Weasley, but none of them
It's-
had
it's
fur, so...
None of them had fur.
I know they weren't not Weasley as
Wait,
in like
okay,
normal. Weasley
okay.
as in like
Well, you know what?
shifty looking and
But you
like
know what?
suspicious.
Process of
Roguish.
elimination. It wasn't Sasha because that's a girl. It wasn't Okram, so it had to be Z,
Yes. I
the
believe so.
lizard guy. He
Yes.
the lizard guy.
The one that always looked
The
shady and
lizard
shifty,
guy.
kind of Weasley.
That seems a little.
Definitely, Bash was one of them.
No, well,
It could have been Z. I'm not good with names.
If those
When they're-
those are the
when they're not
only two
important
that
to
were
me.
there. That was the only other two too. So
Yeah,
but
so it would
so
have
one
just
of
been
them.
those two then. Yes.
I hope
How
your
did he
memory's
die? What happened?
better than you give it credit for.
What happened?
The
I hope your memory's better than that. Because that's
the
dim.
only the okay.
been
This
very
might
long.
seem
A lot has
I-
happened in
this-
between.
wait.
Yes.
Okay, so the manager, Bash, C. There's me and you, and
Mhm.
Ricard. It was out of it, but what? I don't know, but what about the snow cat?
Oh, the cat. Oh,
But
poor
can
thing. I
it?
hope they're taking care
Can
of
cats talk? But look, why was he so quick to take the cat?
her. I don't know. It did create a diversion for me. She caused it to snow,
But
and that was
the
how
cat-
it distracted Z, and the manager had time to jump in the way as they were attacking. And
But the cat
He
was
caught the
there,
brunt
and
of
he
it.
was very adamant about taking the cat with him.
yes, he did say to make sure that the cat was like to hang on to the cat. I wonder if they would let me have the cat in here.
But we said that, and they wouldn't let us. Is there a reason?
Well, I mean,
don't know.
we said that before, but maybe now that they've had a chance to study it. or
Let's just mention the cat. That's all I have to say. Because
Okay.
I don't know about anyone. We're gonna add that to the list of people.
Okay.
Well,
That's all I have to
if
say.
we can
on it.
somehow prove our innocence, Breakspear, at least we're okay. At least it's completely untrue what they're talking about us.
It's
We didn't
probably
do that.
just going to be difficult.
The door to your block opens again, and similar to the warden's group, a whole bunch of guards come in. So there are now 6 total mages in the room, and 6 total guards for each one of you. Your cells are all opened, and you are escorted out of your block down the hall to a different room known as the Conversation Chamber.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Chamber
Together
always has
as
such
a
a
group.
lovely ring to it.
Together as a group.
Yes, you are all brought into the chamber. The seats in this chamber are like oddly spaced, where it almost looks like there are like mini rooms in this room that can be made. And so you're all sat in your chairs, and the guards all like head out of the room. The only thing that stays are the 2 mages for Hidaire.
I'm wearing these shackles. What can I do here?
It's fair.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
It's about
You have
2
nothing
minutes
better to
later.
do.
A man walks in, and he's like mumbling to himself as he walks in, and you are met with the image of Gutty Barity, your adjudicator.
Oh, he looks sleazy.
He do.
But he looks like a country
You-
lawyer.
You have to let me in right now. It has already been too long, and you
Yes,
are
he is
going
a
to let
country
me
lord.
talk to them. All right.
He had slaves.
No.
He
Listen to me. Listen to me. There's a way
I
that
did.
this to be done, and right now it is not being done. I should have already met with these people. So, no, you're going to fix your schedules, and you're going to make sure that from now on, when it's time for me to meet with them, that I'm going to meet with them. And he
Plantation.
comes in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm very sorry about that. Normally, I meet with you quite quick after the auditor gets paperwork in, but some people here are dragging their feet a little bit.
I'm not surprised. They aren't very fond of us.
Yeah.
Well, whether they're fond of you or not, there's a way that things need to be done, and that is the right way. So, just let me see here. Is there a preferred order, or can I address you all as a group?
I mean,
As a group is fine.
All
Don't
right,
believe we have
we'll
any
start-
objections to that.
unless you have
Start
specific
as a-
questions.
So there will be a part where we have to go into individuals, but we can definitely start off all together here. So, let's see here. Just a quick go down your accounts and then your challenges. All right. So for Hedera and Orlena, and I do apologize. You are Hedera, and he points to Hedera.
Yes.
Perfect. And you are Orlena then. Yes. All right. Perfect. Just make sure. And he's like jotting down a couple of notes. All right. So to go through your counts real quick: 18 counts of attempted murder, 16 counts of murder, 9 counts of inhumane acts, 8 counts of destruction of Ambervale property, 7 counts of attacking members of the Ambervale army, 4 counts of the theft of Ambervale horses, and 1 count of high treason, pending the results of the minor count or the major counts. Correct? Those were read to you by your auditor.
Yeah, she did say
They-
those things.
Perfect. And the challenges that I have down is that you would like to have murder knocked down to manslaughter for self-defense, and that you were trying to leave the city, and you only yielded towards the end. You are challenging inhumane acts with the quote, "They clearly fell." And you're challenging the property damage, under the fact that it is easy to be fixed, and you are challenging the theft of horses.
Oh yes, that's of course,
Yeah.
absolutely. But if we could pay a recompense for the supposed property damage, then I would, if that would settle that cause.
So
we'd
you would like
be
to
willing
you would
do
like
that.
to change challenge for property to alleviate for property.
Yes, that's fine. If that
I
would
mean,
take care
the
of that.
horse, and then I feel like in order to say we stole the horses, that means that we would have them in our possession, but we didn't steal any
know-
horses.
No, we never did.
That is a. All right. So theft is. Let's see here. We can see what I can knock that down. I'll have to talk to them about that one, but I do agree that theft doesn't fit, as you are not in possession of them. Let's see. Knock that down, potentially. Maybe get that down to just a fine. That would be what I would like to see that done to. I got to be honest, and I mean, we'll go into it in your individuals, of course. I don't like the way we're challenging inhumane acts.
Okay.
Can you shed some light on what you mean by? Because I don't want to, if this has to go up to a major, I don't want to, be saying to him, hey, they said they fell. Like,
Well,
that's
she
that's
said-
just not what I want to say to him. You know what I mean?
She said that they were. She said that they were thrown from the wall, but
But
we
then,
didn't
and
throw
then
anyone
afterwards,
from the wall.
we did not. She said that of the impalement after her words that she quoted was that they fell from the wall.
From the
And
wall,
impaled
and were
themselves.
impaled.
Those were the words.
Yeah.
Right. So that was
Mm-hmm.
those were the words
So-
that were
Okay,
in
so-
the statement, then that does not indicate us in any way of saying that we were the cause of their.
Not a problem. Get
This-
verbiage clarified. We'll come back to that one then. I think that's fair to say. And then so self-defense, like I said, we can try to knock that down from murder to we'll get that all sorted out, whether it's involuntary or self-defense in general. But we'll cover that as things go about. So we'll circle back to that a little later.
Appreciate
Not a
that.
problem. And leave the city. We're just going to tie that part into self-defense because that would be in what that you are self-defensing yourself from while doing something. Oh,
Yes.
perfect. All right, and you are pleading no association with Jim Breaker, correct?
Correct. We had no idea what they were doing during this time.
We weren't together at all.
No,
There was
we
not
had,
a
we had
problem.
gotten
Perfect.
separated, and
Yeah.
Well, separated. That implies that at one point you were all together. What separated you?
we had different jobs that
No.
were needed to be
Okay.
done.
We got separated because we were being attacked from different sides. So the two of them went outside this because we were supposed to be guarding the tent. That was our job. So Jin and
Yes, to
Breakspear
clarify, I have you
left the tent.
We
Just
were
want just to clarify, I have you marked down for you. Your security team was to keep the king's itinerary safe and potentially, if possible, apprehend the thief that had been causing some issues within the security teams. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
I was
So
not to make
we
any
were
kind of
inside. We
point.
got separated because Jin and Breakspear went outside the tent too, and we were inside, and we were being attacked, and they were being attacked. So we ended up.
Okay,
in
well, who are you
separate
being
areas.
attacked by?
The thespians.
Bash. Yes, we were attacked by the thespians. On our side, it was
Specifically.
Bash and Z who
Mhm.
attacked us. What about you? two
Inside the
boys?
tent.
Yes, we were in. Yeah, those who attacked us in the tent. And what about Breakspear? You two? We didn't. I couldn't see who you guys were fighting.
Desmond. We were fighting Desmond.
You were fighting Desmond.
Desmond was the one who was breaking and attacking Ricard. By
Oh,
the time we
So,
reached the scene, Ricard was battered, broken. When we tried to get Desmond to stop, he then turned on Jin. I attempted to assist Jin afterwards.
Okay,
Oh.
so hold on real quick. So you have Desmond. That is the Desmond, to clarify, that participated in the battle in the arena to kick off the ceremony, correct?
That is correct.
All right, and you're saying that he was in combat with one Ricard, and that he was beating Ricard, and that you two intervened. Is that what you're saying?
We intervened because he was going to kill him.
Okay, now you
Ricard
do
was
understand that Ricard does have a wanted poster out for dead or alive, so that legally speaking, Desmond was allowed to murder this man. Well, it would not be considered murdered as he was wanted dead or alive.
We attempted
Was
to
there
peel-
a? Go ahead.
I don't know, but we attempted to appeal to Desmond to stop. That Ricard might have valuable information. Desmond did not wish to yield. He was emotionally compromised from his defeat against against Ricard in the arena. He wanted his honor back. It did not seem that Desmond was acting with any sort of clarity. When we attempted to get him to see things with clarity, he would not be stopped. I understand.
So you're saying
Ricard-
So you're saying that you now, for the record, what this is, I will have to add that you attempted to. I mean, you're getting into. I mean, what you've said to me is that someone was following the law, that they are going after a wanted fugitive, within their means, dead or alive, that you have intervened with that, so that might potentially have some blowback to it. However, you're saying that in that intervention, the person interacting with you has become overly hostile, and that they made the opening barrage of attacks on you. That is fair to say.
I'd have to refer to Jin. He was the one who got attacked first. I was attempting
Oh,
to
dear.
assist Jin.
What?
Does sound like right now we are having some audio issues with Jin in real life here.
Oh, whoops, that's right. I, it's important to note that we had reason to believe that Ricard had information that was important to the safety of the festival. So we needed him alive so we could talk to him. That's why we had to stop Desmond from killing him.
Okay, so what I'll do is, for the official report, I will still have to put down that you were trying to stop a lawful war chase. However, that we're going to put a challenge in there for Ambervale security. That is ultimately within your preview as your job. So again, we'll kind of bounce that back and forth, and we'll ascertain the truth as we go on through that.
You guys, would it help or make a difference to attempt to tell him what Ricard told us?
It's only part of the truth,
I
so-
believe you said Ricard was incapacitated. Was there a point in which he found with Orlena and Hedera, and at that point he was also still barely conscious? So at what point did Ricard speak to you?
We
was before Desmond got to him.
We had a previous encounter with Ricard.
We've had
Where?
multiple previous
No
encounters with Ricard. He
Well-
has
Previous.
monologued at us in the middle of
Encounter.
fights and our engagements.
Perfect.
He
And
has
did
kind
you
of
report
been-
this to your supervisors? I should be able to find paperwork for this. Yes.
Our paperwork was.
I don't think. Did we have? Yeah. As long as we've been the security team for the Thespians, we haven't had a manager or a supervisor.
We have not.
No problem. I'll check in on the back end, see if I can't figure out what's going on over there.
Oh,
let's
tell
see
him about
here.
the bag.
Oh, our
bag.
previous manager. He had a bag of some importance
It's-
to him.
It should have been
And
in
he
our
was-
possessions.
Yes.
Should have been in your possessions. Let's see here. What possessions? Here's what I have listed down for possessions. And he starts listing through all your possessions: teeth caps, hand wraps, muffin, bow, arrows, things like that, and a bag of assorted scrolls that has not been fully processed yet.
Yes, that is
the
the
bag
one.
that you would be talking about.
Yes.
All right, I'll make sure
That
that
is the
that
one.
goes through sorting sooner. One bag, sort, priority 2. Not a problem. All right. Well, since we're here talking about evidence, real quick, is there anyone I could contact for character witnesses for any of you?
I can make a list.
Yeah, all those
Well,
people.
I mean,
we
that's
talked
what we're
about
here
earlier.
for. Everything we're doing is all about creating a compelling case so that the truth can be ascertained.
Yeah.
The security sergeant that we worked with prior to joining the detail for the Thespians, as well as Mark, one of the security guards that we
Mm-hmm.
also worked with. For myself personally, you could reach out to my contacts in the forest, either Sequoia or Gabriel. Um,
Boy,
You
said I'm in
jail. I need you to be a character witness.
Oh! At the pop-up bar, the bartender.
oh yes, he's a lovely
Want them to
individual.
bring Frank in too? He said no. He's shaking his head.
who's Frank?
Um,
Oh, it's no one really. Sometimes Hedera likes to name the plants. That's all.
He might have skipped
Well,
town.
plant's not going to be inadmissible.
Yeah,
Actually, you
no.
know what? Let's roll a deception for that. lie.
That's not even a lie, though.
That's
That's
not a
not a
lie.
lie.
That's
He's a
that's not
name
what
a
it is.
plant.
It is a partial truth. So we'll give a bonus. We'll keep that in
Okay.
mind. But let's see if he believes that, or if
I don't
he's
know
misled by the partial truth. Well,
I don't know what
I'll
good.
say it
I
that
don't
way.
know what. Fuck.
That's a 6.
I don't know what good. I don't.
How big is that bonus?
What was
He
the
doesn't
bonus?
press the issue, but he is kind of like,
Okay.
all right, well, we wouldn't be able to, unless it has sentience. But okay.
What do you think?
Is there anyone else that I can look into? So I've got one Sequoia, one Gabriel, a bartender from a pop-up bar, Mark, your previous sergeant, and that is it currently.
Dawn.
I don't know. You should
Dawn
send
and Rust.
maybe.
What? Would
Dawn
Dawn and Russ be
Dawn.
good?
And Russ.
They might help.
I will say, I will need everyone to be a little careful when you're spitting out names. Once you say name, I'm going to have to look into it.
I
Understand.
think you should send something on over to the Hollow to Master Darius. My
Master
master, I need help. I
Master
need help.
Darius. Not a problem. Master
They
Darius.
messed up. Oh, look what they've done to my boy.
They.
Um,
All
should
right. Is
never
there
come
any
here.
other character witnesses?
you want group ones or you want individual ones?
I mean, look. If there's a name I need to look into, I just need to have it on a list. And trust me, right now, I've got quite a few people to look into on the other side. If I'm being 100% honest, so I mean, any names you can give me is gonna help you out. Well, presuming they help you out.
Who was the manager's boss? Did we ever get his name?
No, we didn't.
See here. I've got 2 potential candidates for your manager under security details. I'd have to look into anything past that. Is it one of the ones that you were talking about there?
Yeah. Our
Yes.
previous manager on our first security, security job, his boss.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I don't have that person down, but I mean, again, I can look at that.
Thank you.
Is there
We never got his
anyone else?
name.
I don't have anyone
No.
for. I don't have anyone here for break spear. Is there anyone that I'm looking for?
Break spear.
If you can find them. Glamdred.
Lamb, Dreg, Dread. My apologies.
No worries.
Right.
She'll be antsy to she'll want to make certain you get that right.
Problem, not a problem. All right. So it does look like I have everything that I would be needing for now. Is there anything? Oh, actually, real quick. Sorry. Break spear and Jen, just to go over. So we've got 1 count of murder tied in with 1 count of high treason. With that, 1 count of resisting arrest, 1 count of dismemberment. And I've got alleviate down for the dismemberment. And then I've got for Jen that challenge that Jen should be removed from the attempted murder charge and thus also high treason. But that you also challenge the murder charge in general, saying that Breakspear, you went in to inform the sister that her sister had been killed. That you broke in, that has been scratched, to snuck in through the 2nd story window to do so, and that is the story that I'm operating with currently. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and then for resisting arrest is that the command to stop was given. It was given and was heard. However, it was also at the same time as a hostile action was taken, and that you had a reasonable belief that you should be operating within a form of self-defense.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
look, see right here, and I show him my bandages of my chest wound from eating
Yeah,
across
no
the
no
bolt.
problem. Yeah, well,
And I
we're
show
probably going to
mine.
bounce back and forth on that one because the guards, the preliminary account that I've gotten from them, I haven't sat down with them in their one-on-ones yet, but preliminary account is that they were responding to the person that they were tasked to defend, saying that that they had just lived an assassination attempt. So things are a little hostile, but again, we're going to bounce this back and forth. We're gonna get to it. That's what we're going to do here. Is we are going to ascertain the truth to the best that we can. All right. Is there anything else that I should be looking into, or is there anything else that I need to be taking care of?
Sir,
Oh, the cat.
Yes.
The cat. Yes, I do have. It says that there's one cat in the custody of one Angwin. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
Yes.
He was
Oh,
really
perfect.
adamant about taking the cat. It's a magical cat, and I honestly don't know if it can help or not. I don't know if it's capable of communicating. We don't know. And he took the cat so
I would not be
quickly,
the one.
It just... Oh, I know,
So,
but I'm saying we should find out. Because
So
the
Angwin
cat
is
saw
on,
everything.
So
It could be
Angwin is
character
on.
witness on that.
Angwin is on the guest your guest list today, so you will be speaking with him. I will have to wait to speak with him, as technically he's part of the Mages Council, or the Mages Guild rather, and that means he operates out of a slightly different jurisdiction. So I won't be able to just approach him the way I would anyone else. So we'll have to just go through some of the proper channels as far as that goes.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
other than that, we're looking good. So as far as your we're going to keep you in here while you wait for your guests to come in. Let's see here. I've got a meeting here with Breakspear and with Jim, and then a meeting with Orlena and Hedera. All of you have looks like just one guest. No, not a problem. That'll be pretty simple, and we'll get that going here in just a bit. I'm going to pop out to the guard station, make sure thure not holding anybody up,
Wait.
and
who's,
get this.
who's
Oh,
the
I'm sorry,
guest?
Jen. What's up?
Who's the
We only have
Um,
one... Like, collectively, we have one guest?
So you each have a private session set. I can tell you who they are if that would be what you want. However, typically some people like to keep their meetings private. That's up to you.
Oh.
How do you manage that too? Would you like to remove that level of privacy within the group?
I just know there's certain people that I would not want to meet with.
So sadly, it's not up to me to decide who you can or can't meet with. I can put in the paperwork to get that barred next time, but sadly, there's not going to be anything I can do right now.
Next time.
But anyway, would you like me to go over
I know, next time doesn't sound bad.
the appointments you have?
Yeah.
I'd like you to
All right,
have
so-
a name.
All right, I do. It does have to be unanimous for me to do this. I can't waive privacy just because two people said so. Elena, Derek, go.
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know who it could be, and now I'm...
Do you think we need to keep it private from the other two?
Well,
I don't
Do
like
you?
that face, bro. I don't like
you
that
need to
face,
keep it private?
Adam. I think you need lotion on your face.
Perhaps
Okay.
it's
Okay.
best if. Oh, okay.
if you don't
What do you-
mind, Mr.
Again, Hedera, if you don't, I can keep yours private if you would like.
Well, if that was an option, you just said it had to be unanimous.
Well,
Which
it's got
is
to be
it?
unanimous for me to be able to tell the whole group that is how that would work. I
Oh.
could put up the privacy barrier. That way, she is removed.
Oh. Gotcha.
No, it's all right. We'll go ahead.
It's fine. It's
All
fine.
right. So
It's
we
fine.
are unanimous. So I'm just going to mark down unanimous in waiving of privacy between between party. All right. So I've got a meeting with Orlina with one Angwin, a meeting with Hedera with one
I missed that.
Angwin. Angwin, the Archmage of the Mages Guild. And then
Okay.
I've got a meeting for Breakspear with one Okram, and a meeting with Jin with one Okram.
Oh my god. I would like it. I would
Are
like.
they able to refuse visitors? If they
So, like I said, at this point specifically, I would not be able to do that. However, I can get the paperwork started to stop that in the future. We could get a right to refuse cooked up.
Can we? Is there a way to make? Okay. Are they going
Do
to
it
be
for
separated?
open.
Like they're not going to be able to make like physical contact?
So the way it's going to work is like this, and then like he gestures over to like Breakspear, and this like barrier appears, and all of a sudden Breakspear, you can't you can kind of see through the barrier, like it's like a frosted glass kind of looking kind of thing, but you can't hear anything, and you can see like as he continues to make hand gestures, and then he like pulls it down, and then like volume re-enters. The other
So
thing
there's going to be a barrier in between us and the guest.
Yes, there is also and he like throws like his like pencil like at you, and it like stops and falls, and like just hits something and like falls. So that way you're gonna have privacy, and on top of that, you got that little barrier in front of you. If that barrier, for whatever reason, were to be breached, either one of them, that would be the alarms would be going off within the prison, and we would be going into a full lockdown procedure. When that happens, that's when you're talking. I mean, Age shows up, Neophytos shows up, other hero champions, things like that. But that is the way that works. Yes. Breakspear, Jin, would you like me to file that paperwork for future barring, or would you like to wait till after your meeting?
Do it now, if you will.
Do it now. Like I said, I won't be able to stop it this time. I do apologize. It's just not how it works. But I will go ahead and get an official right to refuse cooked up, and we'll get that paperwork in right away.
Do you mind if I ask for one addendum or one additional thing there?
Yeah, of course. No problem.
Any member of the Thespians.
Any member of the Thespians, a right to refuse. Not a problem. I'll get that cooked up. Jen, would you like that as well?
No, you can leave mine on just Okram, I guess.
Just Okram, not a problem. No,
This
Okram
creepy man.
left for. All right, not a problem. All right, well, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and split. I'm going to get working on this character witness list, and I'm going to look into one bag of writings and scrolls, and I'm going to put in the paperwork to check in with Angwin about the cat. So I'm going to get working on all of that, and I'm going to get these right to refuse in, and I'm going to check on those, see if I can't get them in here nice and quick. So, all right. And, again, just like your auditor, you're always welcome to see me. Just tell me cards. I know sometimes they don't talk. They're not supposed to. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. I don't know. But yeah. And hey, look, keep it up. Keep not causing problems with the prison. I'm going to see if I can't get you, bounced to general population at the very minimum, if not house arrest. So, again, we're going to bounce some things around. We're going to figure all of this out. We're going to ascertain the truth. That's what we do here. That's what we do here. All right. Any questions?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Would it be possible for me to get a little bit of sunlight?
So right now, you've been marked as no outside contact, as for a quote, magic is not fully understood. But again, I think that's a little weak. And so that's going to be kind of what I'm talking about with him, about trying to get you all in the gen pop. And that's why I think right now it's just parting. What we do, we don't cause issues. We don't cause problems. No one feels threatened. No one feels scared. And, that's going to let me, work some magic. All right. You trust me. I trust you. You trust me. I trust you.
Appreciate that. It's just the sunlight is how I get my nourishment. They've been bringing me food and it does nothing I need.
Not a problem. Refused proper nourishment. That's a good one. That's a big one. I'm gonna be able to jump through some hoops with that one. So that's the kind of stuff I need to hear. All right.
Thank you
Oh,
so
I
much.
need
Oh,
more meat. I need
so,
more meat. Please tell them to bring me more meat.
I'll see what I can do about
Please.
some extra. I'll see what I can do about some extra portions. But I do have one actually, one last little issue. It does pertain to specifically Orlena. Orlena, would you like this to be private, or again, would you like this to go to the group?
Do you want a sidebar or not?
It's fine.
All right. So the one other thing I do need to clear up is the use of toxins that was found in the bodies of multiple guards, and is that something that is true? It
What
seems
kind
it
of
is some sort of. It says. See here, the preliminary that I've gotten from the alchemist is that it is some form of laughing-based paralytic.
Laughing-based paralytic.
Yeah, it renders foes less than operable by causing muscle contractions in a violent manner, simulating that of laughter.
Dang.
If that did happen, then that was completely unintentional.
Unintentional paralytic. No problem. I'll put that note down, and like I said, once they get a little more information back to me, I'll be able to bounce that around. But for now, I'll see you all later, and I'll check in with those guests, see if I can't get them in. Oh, yep.
I have one
Right,
last
what you
question.
got? He's like backing up towards the door, but paying attention.
How much time between us telling a guard that we need to see you and you getting here is there?
So, in general, it is supposed to be less than 6 hours. But, as you can see, sometimes people drag their feet. And so, anytime that happens, I want you to know that I'm going to open an interjunction within the prison. And I'm going to be hitting them with fines. I'm going to hit them with the weight that I can hit them with. Because, like I said, whether y'all are innocent or y'all are guilty, there's a way things are supposed to be done. And they're going to be done that way.
Just wanted to know. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Well, like I said, I'm gonna head on out of here. Y'all have a good one, and yeah, and he leaves. And on that note, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. Abrupt, but we need it. And
Yeah.
we'll come
Okay.
back with
Yeah.
with all of these spooky, scary ghosts. These meetings. These one-on-ones, these delightful encounters. But that's on the other side of these 5 minutes. We'll be back shortly.
Oh, goodness gracious.
And welcome back. I am your GM, Adam, and we've had a fun session introducing some new legal counsel characters, something I did not think I was going to be writing up for the campaign at the beginning. But hey, we are where we are, and it's been a whole lot of fun going through all the testimonies and whether the party is innocent or guilty. Send a message in what you think. Where do you think the party's innocence lies? So we've introduced a couple of those characters. We've gone over the charges within them, and we're going to see how these guest visits happen. We've got a little bit with Angwin, a little bit with Ochre for the party. So let's bring the party right on back in, and let's jump straight on into it. You all sit in the area for maybe 5-ish minutes before the door opens again, and up first is Angwin. As he comes in, the two mages in the room both nod to him and yes, perfect. He glances over at Jin and Breakspear, and then kind of looks back to Orlina and Hedera, and comes over to the two of them, and then steps, looks at them both, looks at Orlina, and then steps over into Orlina's area, and their ears go up. Let's get a sidebar with Orlina.
Oh.
Already? She goes first.
Orlina, it's good to have a meeting with you. It's not normal that I introduce or interact myself with someone so magically untalented. However, something's drawn me to you. As he says that, you have this overwhelming feeling of this intense want. This echoing of a contract slither into your mind and down your spine. I do believe that we might be looking for something of a very similar nature. But, you see, you're no use to me if you're, well, here. So, you've gone through your charges at this point, yes?
Yes.
It doesn't look very good for you. And from what I've ascertained as far as the witnesses go, there are many, many who are speaking out against your party. So, I guess what I'm here to ask is, maybe you just weren't part of this at all. I mean, a poor little orphan girl, yes? Caught up in this scheme of vagabonds from towns far over the world and monks from a place where there's already another monk on the line for things heinously worse than what you all have done. And then the troublesome Queen of the South, someone who has caused Ambervale quite some issue from what I'm told, though I myself have not interact with Hedera in many ways other than the few dealings I've had with her. There's a lot of political discourse against her. Yeah. There are many people within the royal family who would like to see her guilty. And so I'm just saying, maybe if you weren't associated, who really would care about the orphan girl? Let Hedera steal the headline.
I mean, she kind of did already, but... So what are you proposing?
Well, you see, I don't know exactly what you're after, or why you want the same thing that I do. But I do believe that we are both looking for a very special herb. Something that can answer questions for us that, well, if we're being honest, we both need answered.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How long have you been looking for this herb?
I've been looking for this herb for as long as I can remember. It's very elusive. He pulls out, like from his bag, like a journal kind of thing, and he like walks forward and like he like goes to hand it to you, and it hits the barrier, and he like waves his hand, the barrier like separates, and he hands it through the barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Trivial magic to me, really.
Okay, so I can look in the book, look in the journal.
It's like his personal accounts, like, and they're very honest accounts, and like in some occasions it doesn't like make him look like the best as you like flip through it, but it's a very honest telling. And he's like gesturing to a page he wants to go to. It's fairly early in the book, and it's dated over 15 years ago. And it is about rumor and myth of an herb of unnatural origin and power. Something that the locals say can transcend different dimensions and allow one to walk amongst the Reapers. They call it the Reaper Root.
Is this all just information that he's gathered, or is it like...
Yeah, this is it. Like the book you're reading is like his journal. It's his personal testimony.
So I'm saying, but is it just information that he's gathered, or is it like, does it say like, oh, he went here and did this, and like, is it like...
Oh yeah, like
right now. I'm
there's
sorry.
lots of little like no, you're fine. There's lots of little notes about different like times and places and things like this. You don't actually recognize the location of the place that this says he was at, which means it would be far off the landmass that Ambervale is on.
But it says, I don't necessarily recognize where, but it says like what he found and or what he did.
Yes, so he went there under basically he went there because of the rumor that there like was really rare herbs that were growing there. He went there. He went through a whole bunch of different places, small villages, towns, cities, things like that. Finally, he found finally he found a small village like near the top of a mountain where they talked about how like the peak was so high that it could touch the heavens, and that there was a plant there at one point that was the Reaper Root, as they called it, where like basically they called it like the dark heaven, where like the closer you got to the peak, you felt more and more sun until you got to the very top, and everything felt dark and like gray and muted. And people said they would see things while they're up there. But when Angwin got to the top of the mountain, the Reaper Root was no longer there. Or what was alleged to be the Reaper Root was no longer there.
Okay. I'm just trying to determine if he was anywhere that I knew of at this point. Because you said mountain, but I'm like, did he start? So you said, and he said towns and villages. I guess nothing was very specific as to where, not necessarily the where.
So he names all the towns and villages that he went to, and again, it's all sites and places that you haven't heard of before.
That I don't know. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
He gestures back for the book.
Okay. He can have it back, I guess. So why?
And he with his hand and reforms the barrier.
Why are you looking for it?
So, I've studied many, many years to be one of the strongest mages this land and far, far over. One of my peers, and a good friend of mine, really, was the previous Archmage of Ambervale, who was, again, one of the strongest mages I've ever known. And he died because of collapsing roof tiles. A mage of such excellent power was caught off guard in that little spell back in the Pantheon of the Shattered Pantheon. And we lost one of the world's greatest mages. And I just wish to help alleviate that worry from myself. Now, from what I understand, what I need is a very special mixture, a type of weaving within some form of vessel in which to consume. And it so turns out that a little orphan baker has created one of the most perplexing paralytic toxins I've ever seen or heard about. Something so elegantly woven into food that it can even be applied to other devices. Is that true?
That depends.
Does it?
It does. Is that going to help me get out of here?
If that's true, and you tell me that you had no part in this, I will use the weight of my entire Mage's Guild to make sure that these charges are dropped from you. And then you and me can work together to answer both of our quarrels.
What are the chances of that happening?
I would say relatively decent, especially since shifting the blame onto Hedera would not be too difficult. I mean, after all, what are you gonna do? Tell the Queen of the Forest, this all-powerful, person, or someone who was able to breach my defenses at the arena battle. I do know it was her. What would a little orphan girl do to such ferocity? It would be so easy to set you fear for your life, that there was no other choice to do, that you felt compelled. You were an innocent bystander. And then you just give the testimony that sees Hedera not be so free. That it wasn't things like, what, did you challenge down to self-defense or something way less lethal? I'm sure. Who would say, yes, I'm guilty? And you just say that it was her and she did it.
But she doesn't shoot arrows.
Yes, no, it would be unfortunate. You would have to do some work for the community to help see that alleviated. One of which is Ambervale's policy on spouses that are killed in the line of duty, especially via murder, is that murderer has to pay child support for their family. And so that could easily be arranged, and I would be more than happy to take care of the gold. It would be a pittance to me.
How many of them had children? I guess, okay, well, if I'm not paying it, I guess it wouldn't matter. Okay. Not necessarily unrelated, but this herb, I have to ask. You said you've been looking for it as long as you can remember, but what have you actually done trying to find it? Was it just research? Was it just traveling? Did you kill for it?
Well, thankfully I'm never to kill for it. However, I definitely have been around many different towns, cities, ports, places. Some less than reputable. Heck, some not even on this planet.
Okay. Hmm. If we find this and I help you find it, what's to stop
So
you from
that's-
just taking it and using it for yourself?
That's the best part, is we don't need to find it. It's here. It's been brought to Ambervale. It's going to be used in one of the cooking challenges, and I just can't see wasted in something like that. But what I need from you, your assurance, is one, I don't need all of it. Two, I need someone to be able to make it into something. Something that can be ingested.
Okay. Okay. The only other thing, I don't know if you know or not. So, in doing all, are me and Hedera being tried together? Or are we being tried separately? Do you know?
You are currently being tried together as you have identical counts brought against you. That is typically how Ambervale does their justice system, but it wouldn't be hard for us to get that to split.
I guess if that were possible, that would be favorable. Because, I mean, although she has, like, the shackles and whatnot, what if she, I don't know. I think I have to, look, if we're going to do this, I have to survive. Or else you won't get your muffins.
Exactly.
Or, so.
See, that's the absolute best part. I have no issue with you. I need you. You need me. It's a simple arrangement, really.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Wonderful, Orlina. I will begin to take care of some of the things on my end, and we will speak again very soon.
Is there a reason you took the cat? I just have to ask. I'm just curious.
Well, I had a feeling that its point of view might not aid in your freeing.
Well, just so you know then, he's gonna try to put in paperwork to get the cat. So-
That won't be an issue. We at the Mages Guild operate outside of the jurisdiction of Ambervale specifically.
He did mention that. But just so you know, he's gonna try to get the cat.
Appreciated, partner. And he gives like a bow, and the snakes on his cape both nod their heads as well.
I hope this goes well.
And the barrier is removed, so we can rejoin the party.
Come on back.
And we're back to the party, but we are going to abruptly jump into a sidebar with Hedera as Anguin takes a few steps over, and the barriers pop up.
Oh my goodness.
Well, this isn't exactly where I pictured our next meeting taking place.
I mean, after you let them shackle me.
Well, I can't be showing favoritism. It would look poorly on me if I'm called as a character witness. You did call me as a character witness, yes?
I wasn't sure if you would give me a favorable character, just witness. I mean, you did allow them to arrest me, so.
Of course I did. You have to imagine it from their point of view. If I start arguing against a king's champion while they're saying you're going around killing people, it doesn't do well for my word, and if I don't have a good word, how can I help you?
Are you actually interested in helping me?
Of course. We as magic users need to stick together, lest we devolve into the uncivilized world of these less than magic people.
I see. I don't suppose would it be too late for me to add you as a character witness if I can call back the Judicator?
No, of course not. You'll be able to remedy anything like that.
All right.
If not me, who, if you don't mind, did you add as a character witness?
Gabriel, my ward that I raised. He's been active in Ambervale. He's known throughout the kingdom. He's currently watching over the forest with Sequoia, my successor. I should say, well, not successor, but she's watching the forest in my absence. I listed her as well.
Will the Judicator be able to get into your forest and find them?
If he's on a mission from me, then yes, the forest will know. They will let.
Well,
That's all he has to say.
then, with all of that... I'm sorry?
Say all he has to do when he enters is say that he has a message from Hedera and needs to speak to either Gabriel or Sequoia. And he'll be shown.
I'll make sure that that gets to him unless you see him first to add me to your character witness. So, I also do apologize for the abundant anti-match defenses. Again, I didn't want to see as if I was showing favoritism, but I'm sure your Judicator will get you moved out of the more isolated areas, and we'll see that fixed soon.
I appreciate that.
Of course, we'll also wield my might with the Mages Guild, citing Hedera as a long-term friend of Ambervale, despite the muddier past with, previous attended regimes.
Yes, well, those were more violent times, and we came to a peaceful agreement, so... Previous regimes are no longer in control for a reason.
True. Well, is there anything else that I can, be working on for you?
We need you to look at something for us. We have information on a possible threat to the Kingdom of Ambervale, which we were trying to investigate, and, it has to do with the Thespians, Okram specifically. We don't have all of the details, but the manager, there was a bag that he gave to me that was in my possession that was taken. It's full of scrolls. We didn't get a chance to look through them, but there should be evidence against the Thespians of some kind. Some sort of treasonous act on their part.
I can look into that.
It is important that Okram not be trusted. He might be... it is in his best interest for us to be found guilty. And I know he will do what he can to sway the opinion of the council.
I trust seldom few.
So how do I know that you trust me?
Well, you can look at me, Hedera. I am a creature far closer to nature than any of these humans or elves or dwarves. I'm sure that you could see that I'm not something like them. And he waves his hand, and the barrier between the two of you, like, fades. Feel free to oracite me if you will.
Not sure if it'll work with these shackles, but I can try.
He, like, gestures to the shackles, and you feel the runes in them, like, dissipate. He's clearly in strain to do that, though.
I didn't mean for that to cause you pain. All right, and I want to oracite him.
The Oracite of Anguin, it's something like you've seen Anguin before, and you've experienced his aura, but like in a more like directly observed sense. It is a very like down to like earth nature to it. It's a very like lots of self-preservation, lots of like feelings of like distrust in and like others and things like that, but like a core like identity of like when things need to be done, that like he wants to get them done.
All right.
And he raises his hands, the runes reactivate, and then the wall flickers back in. Is there anything else that I can be working on for you? So, bag from some manager, you said, and
Yes.
the thespians.
Yes. And the cat. I would like to have it.
I don't know if I'll be able to get it into the prison, but I definitely can try. The
Can I get
Hadera, or sorry, not your Hadera, or Lina had asked about the cat as well. I will say, after communing with it, I don't think it would be in anyone's best interest for it to be within the Judicator's vision.
Why is that? What did you learn from it?
Well, the problem with animals is, I mean, you may be able to understand them in a more truer sense. Here. This is an example of its experience within that night. And he, like, raises his hand out again, and, like, you feel, like, a connection into your forehead, and, like, you feel like you're seeing something through your eyes that you know you're not actually seeing. And it's, like, you hear garbled, like, speaking noises, but it almost sounds like The Sims, where it's, like, you can tell it's a language, but it doesn't make sense at all. It's really, like, dark, and it's like this, like, lightning's flashing, it's raining, and it's just like as it's playing through, it doesn't show like a good idea of who's striking first, who's doing that, as like the cat is reacting to different sounds and noises and things like that. And so it's just this very muddled group. But one area that it does have is it's you see the 5 guards like on your ladder, and you wave your hand and the ladder disappears and the guards fall on like onto each other, like the cat just like watched it happen.
Oh, okay. So yes, definitely
And then
not.
he pulls his hand back.
So definitely not beneficial to have that brought before the Judicator.
Now, luckily, Ambervale doesn't typically accept things like animals and plants and such. So it won't be difficult for me to keep the legal system of Ambervale at bay. 1, with the Mages Guild in general, but 2, because, again, it's not commonly admissible.
Understood. How is the cat? Is she being properly cared for?
Of course. She sleeps in my personal study currently.
Lovely. All right.
Yeah.
Wondering if I could also get access to sunlight. I just need some sort of little, maybe even just a hole in the ceiling where I could feel the warmth of the sun. I'm withering in this darkness.
I do believe I heard your kingdom screaming at some guards about improper living conditions. So I will let him approach that first, so it's gone through those proper channels. However, if it is not seen to, I will speak out as a friend.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Of course.
I'm sorry for
Is
my harsh actions at the wall when we were last.
If anything,
Face
it
to face.
only does good to strengthen the testimony and the compliance.
Thank you.
Of course. And he gives a bow, and then the two snakes on his cape both nod their heads, and the barrier disappears, and we can rejoin the party.
All right.
Yo.
Yo.
Yo,
It was so perfectly timed.
Sorry.
as Angwin gestures to both Orlina and Hedadera, he looks over at Jin and gives kind of like a polite little nod, and he glances at Breakspear and he's like, "Yeah, that's the other one."
Oh.
And he leaves.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't like
What
you
did you do
either.
to Angwin?
Yeah, he's just jealous.
Oh.
Hmm.
Maybe it's a reptile thing.
Not
a
not long enough,
Oof.
and the door creaks open. And you note that any other time the door is opened, it is not creaked. As
Why does he
Ogrim
always do that?
steps in, and he steps in, and it is the perfect shoe sound on the floor that he as he walks, and he looks and he's like,
Smug looking little
"Ah,
prick.
yes. Hello, everyone. I'm glad to see that you're all doing very well."
How are you?
Ah, of course. I mean, you, after all, are my security team.
Hmm.
I just don't feel safe right now without all of you by my side. But sadly, I'd keep addressing all of you as my meeting isn't for all of you. I'm going to meet specifically with Jin and Breakspear. And he steps over, and the barrier goes up and separates not one of them from you two, but both of them. And that's right, we're going to do our first double sidebar.
Oh.
No. Ah. Why is it red?
Hello. How are we fitting in here?
Peachy.
Yeah, just fine so far.
By next
Well,
week,
that's
we'll
good.
be running the place.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it even slightly. I mean, between the two of you, you're debating, you're intriguing, you're invigorating. And I think that's why I wanted to make sure that you survived. I wanted to make sure that you lived. Gentlemen. And he gets really close to the barrier. He touches it and then leans forward to the point where it's right here. You have to understand, there's going to be an opening in the Thespians. It's gonna be something. You could be something. We could be something. And listen, I know I'm sure you're thinking to yourself all of these horrendous reasons to say no, that I should take this offer and put it where the sun doesn't shine. But let me ask you, What have I actually done? Exactly. Your silence says it all. And now look, Breakspear, trust me. I understand your feelings for Indigo, and I know there's no part of you that wants to believe me, and there's no part of you that may ever truly believe me, but my heart broke when that happened. My heart broke having to do it. But you have to understand something, that the things with Indigo were far more far-stretching than just a single incident. This is not something that is just happened here in Ambervale. This is something that has been in the works for so long. And again, it's horrendous. It's hideous. But it was only one person. I mean, in comparison to your own party, I mean, that's a whole lot more villainy than I've ever done.
So wait, what exactly did you do? Did killed her for what?
You see, we're working on a project, and that project has certain necessities for resources and secrecy, and both of those were breached. And it just wasn't something that could continue going on that way. Gentlemen, do we really have no words to speak? I could get you out
He was going
like
to
this.
wait for me to be there.
I'm sorry, who?
I think you know. He said he was going to wait for me to be there.
Who said he was going to wait to be where?
Never mind. Must have misheard. The wind, probably.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Chin, what about you?
I could never work with someone who would kill someone who was their friend like that.
Let me ask a question, Okram.
Mm-hmm.
What assurances would either one of us have if we said, "Sure, Okram, let's work together"? What assurances would we have if we didn't want to end up in the same boat?
As Indigo, you mean?
As Indigo.
So, may I pose a counter question? And that question would be, so, if all of this time, everything that you've been working on, everything that you've been striving for, let's say Orlina was working against you, ratting you out at every turn, telling your secrets to your enemies, and she was taking from the very resources that you needed to do your job. And you found out that she herself was sabotaging not just your work, but everything that you're striving to do for a whole group of people. We are an art festival traveling the world promoting anti-violence. And she's taking from that. She took from that. What type of person does that? And Jin, I understand your sentiment. I do. But you and me both are gonna have to live with the fact that we've done unspeakable things to people. I earnestly was hoping that Desmond was going to be a thespian. But you so easily took care of that. Admittedly, he did go a touch rogue. But the two of you lit up an arena, and arenas were something that I honestly hadn't really considered as true artistry. But the two of you captivated the hearts of so many. The chance, the thrill, the form factor. That's something we could advertise in every World's Fair that we do. Imagine Breakspear. Imagine the elevation of the Tranquilin people with a champion. Have you heard the word from places like Talon after your arena bout?
No.
They had to ban it. They've made it so you're not allowed to watch it because of the inspiration that you were to an people. And what are you to deny people hope? What are you to deny people their fighting will?
It has to be theirs. It has to be honest.
But someone has to inspire it.
How do you inspire it? Non-violence.
Well, you use your craft for your agile maneuvers, your claws, your teeth, your raw physical ability, and wow, I cannot match some of those feats through strength of will. It comes to me in the rhythm of life, the motion that is created as people are allured, the bardic energy that kind of snaps and fizzles in the air, and like as he like moves his hand, like music almost starts to just like play ever so slightly just as he like moves around a little bit. And I mean, that's what it is to be a bard. That's what it is to create with energy, with passion, with pizzazz. And that's something that we could harness with your martial prowess, the two of you.
So this is a job opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. I would want the two of you to become thespians. I would want the two of you to be the champions of the arena. Every city we go to, champions will try and fight you. You will be across the world over some of the greatest fighters that have been ever summoned. And you play the role of Aegis and Neophytos, but in our arena as we go from place to place to place. Different lands, different people, different needs and requirements. And there's hero work to be done. Now, unlike us performers who would be performing night after night after night, the arenas, once you're done fighting, you would be free to interact with the people, to interact with the problems. And we're, given certain luxuries, certain respect, certain allowances. through diplomatic immunities and such like that because of the World's Fair.
What do you think, Jin?
I think that you don't understand anything about what I do. Just if I could turn around. Just like this.
That's fair, Jin. I realistically probably don't. It's all become so muddled in this Ricard business, and, you know, I guess I want to know. What is it that you seek, then?
I just want to be better today than I was yesterday. I want that to continue each day. And I want to be able to go back home to the Hollow and look my master in the eye and have him tell me that he's proud of who I've become.
That's a fair goal. I don't imagine it happens if you are locked up in Ambervale for high treason, though.
If that's the price
You know what?
for
Let me stop
not
you
telling
there, Jin.
myself to you, then
Let me stop you there. Because I believe you. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to make sure that Violet drops these charges against you. Against you both. Of course, you'll still have to deal with that poor guard. You should have heard him crying. Oh, fingers. Ugh. Oh, I can't even imagine. Oh. And he like twiddles with his fingers, like and you see a twinge of what you would imagine is like genuine like discomfort as he like touches all of his knuckles. Because I just don't think that's right. I mean, we all know you weren't there to kill her. That's ridiculous. She is a talker. I'm sure you've heard her speak.
I was curious on how she was going to get past the fact that she invited me in.
Oh, I'm sure to her it was all going to be hearsay, and the fact that we have pretty intensive diplomatic immunities means that, you know, realistically, if it's her word versus your word, she's going to win it out. And due to the protection that... I'm sorry?
Usually is the case.
And then the fact that Ambervale is, you know, sworn to protect us, yada yada yada, and the fact that you're a security detail. I mean, it would become this whole big thing, and Ambervale probably would just want to squash it all. But again, I just don't think that's right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to get that all done. The only thing I'm going to suggest is that you distance yourself from those two others. Because hate me all you want. I didn't murder 16 people. And you know from the sewers that I haven't been enlisting guards at all. That's all I'll say. Anyway, the offer still will stand when you both are out and cleared. And if either one of you do want to travel the world over and enjoy the festivities of life, my door's always open. We could be thespians. But for now, I bid you both adieu. And he like starts to step out, and then he stops and he goes, one more little thing, real quick. And he steps specifically into Breakspear's side, and the wall like comes up, and so we need
No!
to go to a specific sidebar with just Breakspear.
Oh, Breakspear, no!
We might return. We might return to the whole party. I don't know if we can go straight to that from here, but we'll get there.
We'll figure it out.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi,
Goodbye.
guys.
Bye.
Wait, what?
He turns to you, and he goes, one last little thing I can say, maybe to pique your interest, as I've heard rumblings and whispers that you're interested in knowing your draconic lineage. I have a touch of it myself, actually. And
Really?
it looks a little something like this. And he like closes his eyes, and like he begins to like shake. Like you see like the sorry, one second. You see his like the glass begin to like move, like wave, and the little barrier begins to like shift and shake, as like you see like little appendages start to like sprout out of his like the backs of his shoulder, and like his nails become more claw-like. His like this transformation is like taking place. His teeth, like he gets more like fat teeth, and then you are looking at this. Suppressing this is something that does not become easy. Oh, awakening it is such a thrill. Breakspear, oh, if you are ever so lucky to reach this form one day, you will just absolutely love it. It is so freeing. And your race is far more in touch with this than I will ever be. In fact, in many ways, I'm very jealous of your potential. But there is quite a few things that I've learned about this sort of thing from my experiences and my travels. And he like forces it back like in, and like his bones crack, his shoulders like pop back in, and he like looks like visibly like drained for a second before he pulls out like a handkerchief and like cleans himself up and like a brush and like resets his hair. Anyway, like I said, we're gonna work these all out with Violet, and if you're interested, all you need to do is come and talk to me. And he begins like stepping away as the barrier fades, and we can join the party. And the barriers come down, and Okram begins to walk out of the room, and he like gives just a polite wave to Breakspear and Jin, and then he like looks at Orlena and Adara, and he goes and leaves the room.
Shake your head all you want.
What happened? Are you alright?
We're fine. It'll
Did you
be
say
all
we're
right.
fine?
Well, I'm fine.
We're asking you. Oh, okay.
Right. What? What's
Just
wrong?
more
What did he
gloating.
say?
You don't sound fine.
Yeah, well, I'm just tired.
What did he do? What did he say to you?
Hey, oh shoot, you can't do it. Crap. I was gonna ask you to do the thing, but you can't do it.
I can't use my aura sight. I
Yeah,
could
you can't do
try.
it.
I can try.
You're always welcome to try.
Let's see if I can do my aura sight despite these shackles.
It will, just so you know, rolling
course.
against
Disadvantage.
rolling against this
At
will
disadvantage.
like potentially trigger, different things. And
Oh, like the
Um,
alarm?
What?
Oh,
is
no,
like
okay.
forcing, because you would be aware of this, to force your magic through would be to like overpower the restraints. It's not like you're like slipping by it. You would have to like will past it,
Okay.
and that would be something that you would be aware of. So that's why I'm bringing that up.
Okay.
So that would set off the alarm, and
Yeah, we told
Maybe
the
I
guy
shouldn't
we weren't gonna cause trouble.
yeah, I won't then. No, we don't want any issues.
No.
Anything that they can use against us. Breakspear to see.
And you might not even be able to do it. To see if he
Right.
still has his soul.
Yeah, let me look at Breakspear's frame, his posture, see how he's doing.
All right, let's get a perception check on Breakspear from Jin.
How you mental doing, buddy? He's looking pretty bad, guys. He's looking pretty bad. I don't know. I think it's because he's just talking to Okram.
See?
Okay.
He sucked his soul out of him. I don't trust it.
I mean, I don't trust anything that Okram does. So.
Nope. None of it.
What did he say to you?
After a couple of minutes, you can continue your dialogue, but after a couple of minutes, the guards do come back in, get everyone up, and then take you back to your block.
Just more gloating.
Back to the screaming. There's
You're
screaming
just what?
in here.
Just
there's
more
screaming.
gloating.
Oh. Okram being full of himself.
The usual.
Okram being Okram.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like that shouldn't have taken that much out of you, though, with Okram gloating. If that was all it was. We all know
Did he do
Okram's
the
arrogance.
Yeah, but see, remember all the other time we were talking about him taking their. Did he take your energies? Now why you're tired?
No, I'm tired because I couldn't protect multiple people and we almost died. Just look. Talking may be great for many people, but I really don't like it at the moment.
I'm just
Forgive
saying
my
you didn't
lack
seem
of
that
decorum.
tired before you went in there.
Right.
Then I gotta put on a good front, I guess.
Remember, we're not your enemies. We're here for you.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I'll remember.
You've never referred to me by my title.
Yeah, I have. Just want to get back to the cell at least. Collect my own thoughts.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta do some more exercises.
The
Oh, Jin.
as you're all back in, following shortly after you're back in your cells, your adjudicator does come in, and he's like, All right, so I do have some of the preliminary things that we've been talking about. One, Breakspear, Shin, got that paperwork in for you, so the right to refuse is in, and that will get verified and taken care of. As far as some of the other things, Hedera, they said they're going to be looking into living conditions. They, at the very minimum, they said they're going to start adding some sunstones to the order that they bring you, so that way you have something that at least emanates a light-like substance. But I'm still working on it. I said that's a half measure. That's a holdover, and I don't appreciate it. So a couple of things. Thanks to a little help from the Mage Guild, I was able to actually expedite some of the reach contacting of your character witnesses. So let's see here. The Glam Drid, unreachable. We will continue to try to reach that person, but currently they have not. We have not been able to contact them. Dawn and Russ both also were not contactable. Their known whereabouts are not where they are currently, so we will continue. Master Darius, we contacted the place. However, turns out he's actually already en route to Ambervale, so we were not able to speak to him directly, but he is on his way. Apparently, there was some official summons by the king to work out what's going on with this whole Picard business. He's be coming over. So the bartender said he would come on in and talk. So that's good. We have not contacted Sequoia and Gabriel. It turns out the communication magic doesn't work into the forest, so we're gonna have to head on in there in person. Not a big deal. However, because he was brought up, and I do apologize, he said the name in front of me, and we stumbled across him when we went to talk to the bartender. Frank is going to be a character witness. I do apologize, but that's one of the things. Once I hear a name, it has to be brought up if I can find it. Still looking into that whole man cross business. Of course, yeah. What you got?
He's not
done. Could I add Angwin as a character witness?
Not a problem. Yeah, sure. Perfect. Not a problem. And then so I do have some interesting news. This doesn't always happen, but it does sometimes happen. It does appear that the sergeant has given me a temporary. He did say he wanted to set up a meeting to with all of you. But he is going to be a character witness for Jin and Breakspear, but he is currently abstained for Blina and Hedera. But like I said, he said he wants to come in and have a meeting, so we'll see where that goes. And then Mark as well was unreachable. So we're still looking into that. Apparently he missed his shift. But there's a lot going on with all the guards go. So we are still looking into that. But yeah, that about wraps it up with everything that I've been working on as far as all of that goes. Jin, they said they're gonna up the meat. You let me know if it's good enough, okay?
Hey, will do, boss.
All right, that's what I like to hear. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to working on some of this stuff. I did put that priority on the bags, so hope we're gonna get that done soon. And again, I put in the ticket for the cat with the Mages Guild. Hopefully, with Angwin being a character witness, maybe he's a little helpful with that. We can get that ball rolling. But again, we'll get it going, and we will ascertain this truth. All right. You all have a good night. And you know what? These beddings don't look up to code. I'm gonna talk to them about the bedding. What you got, Breakspear?
If it's possible, I'd like to request a retrieval of a personal item.
Retrieval of a personal item. What you got?
In the domicile that we have been afforded to by the carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Inside there should be a box that has a blue poncho in it. I would like that poncho, please. It has sentimental value.
This is a non-magical item, correct?
That
Don't
is
you
correct.
be lying to me. If you say it's not, and it is, it's going to cause problems.
To my knowledge, it has been non-magical.
To your knowledge, it's not. All right, I'll get it tested. I'll get it tested, and if I can, if it's not magical, I'll get it to you.
Understood.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Perfect. No problem. All right. Cool. Anything else? Last? Yep. Yep. All right.
You've been very kind.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right.
We're all right. Thank
and
you very
he-
much.
Okay, I love
he
the
does
lawyer
head out.
voice. I take it back.
He backwalks his way on out of there.
With that, that wraps it up for our session today.
We're alive.
Oh!
With
Oh my
mass executions. All right, so we're going to start this
God.
off with.
Oh my God.
No!
I
demand trial by combat.
Session. Denied.
Oh.
No!
But yeah, it wasn't the most dice rolling session, but I do hope everyone enjoyed hanging out with us. It was a whole lot of fun, and the party does live to see another session, which is exciting. So we'll see how that all continues and
Still
pans
alive.
out.
Oh my
But
gosh.
until we see you next time, you all have a great time. You have a great day, great night. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank-
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Oh my goodness.
Have
She's
a
like,
wonderful
"Bye.
night. Thank
Bye
you
now."
all.